Oh my God, shit, I'm late again. Oh my God, I'm such a bad person. I'm always freaking late. I'm never on time. Like, oh my God, shit, what are they gonna think of me? Like, man, you know what? I might as well just I just freaking suck. Damn, I spent all of my money again. I got bills due. I'm so bad with money. Like, what the hell? I can never get it right. I'm such a failure. Like, shit, like, I'm just such a bad person. Like, really? Is this really it? Yo, what's happening? That was kind of extreme, huh? Yeah, I totally agree. That's what I used to deal with about, I want to say 3 years ago. And I call that self-deprecation. And that self-deprecation is detrimental. It's detrimental to your happiness. It's detrimental to your mental health. It's detrimental to the joy and love and really living a life of freedom. It's detrimental to all those things. And it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. And this is something that we all deal with, I imagine. And that self-deprecation, it caused me to go in a state of depression for about 8 months. And this happened, like I said, about three years ago. I was 21. I was actually 20 going into 21. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about self-deprecation, and we're going to talk about moving into self-appreciation, because I think that's more powerful. I'm Dave Sean, yours truly. And if this is your first time tuning into this channel is all about upliftment. It's about inspiration. It's about really just helping you understand your worthiness and experiencing more well-being and experiencing a more joyful life. So what is self-deprecation? I'm going to pull the definition up for you guys real quick, because it's a big predominant thing. So self-deprecation is self-deprecation is an act of reprimanding oneself, or belittling, undervaluing, or despairing oneself, or being excessively modest. And we're conditioned to this, you know. We're conditioned to people being hard on us and telling us that we need to get stuff done, and if we don't do this at this time, there's going to be consequences. And sometimes we take that and we put that on ourselves, so we start to be the person to put consequences on ourselves. And usually the consequences are really just this talking to ourselves in a way that's so belittling and so devaluing. And I want to help you experience your worthiness. That's what this is about. It's not beneficial to you experiencing your worthiness. And so this happened to me. So I moved into this place where I was basically kind of self-employed. Basically, I was starting to, like, you know, start my own business and things like that. And what we have a tendency to have, and I just see this play out, it's like being hard on ourselves, because we think if we be hard on ourselves, if we keep a finger on ourselves, and we'll get stuff done, and freaking we'll be better at this, and we'll succeed at that. And I don't think that's necessarily so, because what happened with me is, at first it was like, yeah, man, I'm at the hustle, you know what I mean? I'm going to do so good and stuff like that. And then it started like, oh, I'm not doing good enough. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. And then when I wasn't working hard, I'm like, why am I not working harder? Like, dude, something's wrong with you. Something wrong with you. And then it started to be like, damn, I'm a piece of shit because I'm not getting this stuff done, and I'm not holding up these expectations to these people. And then it led to me it led to a state of depression, honestly, and just all these things that I thought about myself and these expectations that I put on myself, and I wasn't holding up these expectations. So there's just this battle. And literally, I would wake up, beat myself up, and I would literally go sleep in the closet for 2 to 3 hours, just marinating in all this self-doubt and the self-loathing and just all these belittling thoughts about myself, how I wasn't good, I wasn't worthy, I was never going to succeed. People don't care about me because people don't care about me because I'm not doing these things. And it didn't work out well. And we have a tendency to think, and if we harden ourselves, that we will do better. But if you don't feel good right now, how can you expect the outcome to be something beneficial? How can you expect the outcome to be something that you like and something that you're joyful about if you're not joyful right now in the process? And that's what I started to realize. And so those two clips, the first clip was, so when I started to move out of this depression and the self-deprecation, it really starts to experience, like, I want to say self-love, but self-appreciation. These things will still come up because it was still some conditioning that I had, you know what I mean? It was still some things that I still was working through. And so I would notice it, like, if I was driving and meeting somebody somewhere, if I was running late, I'm like, damn, I'm late, dude. Like, they're going to judge me. Like, I'm not a good person. I'm never on time, da-da-da-da. And that never made me feel good. So I would eventually step away from it and be like, bro, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, what shit happens. Like, it's okay if you run late. That don't mean that you're a bad person. I'm still worthy. I'm just running a little bit late. It's not a big deal. And then the second thing is a big one, because a lot of people have issues or stories about money that are not beneficial to their growth, and so since they have these stories, they think that the story just plays out in not a good way. And it's so cool because my beautiful partner, she actually helped me out with this. She wrote a letter to money, and I don't usually recommend things, but if you're having if your relationship with money is not as how you would like it to be, I would definitely recommend you writing a letter to money and just apologizing and just telling, like, treating money like a friend. And how would you write a letter to a friend that you had a bad relationship with? So that's what I recommend. But the money thing, and so it's funny because when we think we don't have a lot of money, it's like I'm not good at managing money. I just spent all my money again. Like that's why I'm broke. I'm never going to be successful. I'm never going to be wealthy because I just don't know how to manage money. Like self-deprecating again. How do you expect to get here when you're just here, just beating yourself up all the time, burying yourself in the dirt? And it's cool because it's like, I think there's no place for being hard on yourself. I think there's no place for self-deprecation. I think there's no place for beating yourself up or belittling yourself. I do think there's place for self-appreciation. I do think there's place for creating a vision. I do think there's a place for tapping into who you really are and building a, like I want to say, like, finding out what your purpose is and what you love to do, and allowing that vision and you being pulled by that vision to help you take action. Because so this is the thing, when we don't take action on certain things, like, yet again, we think that we're bad, and like, you know, it's big in the community of self-help, personal development, success, hustle culture, that if you're not taking action, then you just not gonna do it. You just not that good. You know what I mean? And I guess we all fall into the trap. But the thing is like, you're not going to take action if you're beating yourself up about not taking action. That's the thing. You have to find reasons. You have to, what is your why? Why do you want this? Why does it feel good for you to do this? And it just makes sense. You get to the point where it just makes sense. It just makes sense for me to make videos because I like making videos. It makes sense for me to take action in my business. It just makes sense because I know what I'm doing it for. I have a vision. I don't have to beat myself up to get there. I do it because it brings me joy and it brings me life. It brings me happiness. And that's the place to move to. That's the place to move to of self-appreciation. And that's the cool thing, is because, like, I feel like self-appreciation brings a huge amount of self-awareness as well. Or self-awareness is self-appreciation stems from self-awareness. And because it seems like the magic starts to happen when you start to appreciate yourself more. Before I get into that, I want to say this. And do you wonder why people are hard on you? People are hard on you because you're hard on yourself. And we want to have kinder relationships with people and better relationships with people, but we have to start to cultivate and appreciate ourselves first. Because I learned this. I was like, when I started to really be kind to myself and really appreciate myself and really love myself, I saw that I could not treat anybody less than that. You literally can't treat anybody less than how you treat yourself. That's what I figured out. It just didn't feel right. I just couldn't do it. And so that's a benefit of starting this self-appreciation, because you'll be nicer to people because you're nicer to yourself. You'll be more kind. You'll be more compassionate to people when you're compassionate with yourself. And so the power of self-appreciation, yet again, is that it's a cool thing happens because you start to like get higher. You start to get lighter because you're not in these dense emotions of you beating yourself up. You start to get higher. And when you get higher, you start to see things and know things and be on point. You literally start to have good timing. So it's like when I started to practice self-appreciation, I was immensely aware of how I worked and things like that. So I never had a problem being late anymore because I just knew like it was okay. Like I wasn't beating myself up and I wasn't setting myself up so I can be late because like I just knew everything. I just had I was more tapped into myself and to my surroundings and to things and situations that I was involved in. That's the power of it right there. Self-appreciation, you get so much lighter. Your vision is something that's very light. The life that you want to live is a happy life. The life you want to live is a joyful life. And that I feel like, well, for me, like I see it's very light. It's very lighthearted. It's very uplifting. And it just doesn't make sense for me to be so dense and hard on myself if I'm trying to get here. They just don't align. They just don't align at all. And that's the benefit. It's like tapping into more of the self-appreciation, because like you can't get this wrong. And I feel like we think that we can get it wrong or we can mess something up. You really can't mess it up. Other people might try to convince you that you mess it up, but you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up for yourself. You will continue to expand. You will continue to grow. And the more that you can love the process of you, when you can love your unfoldment, the more that you can love your day in and day out actions, the more that you can love the experience that you're having, the better your life will go, the better days will go, because you're enjoying the process. There's nowhere to get, obviously. We're right here. So if you're hard on yourself right now, then that's just not, like, what else? Like, I feel like it's really about feeling good. And when you tap into that more, because there's enough people that have put stigmas, stipulations, expectations on you, and when you add on to that and put more stigmas, expectations, and all that crap, like, it just doesn't feel good. It's like we want to, I feel like every soul wants to be free and they want to be liberated. And the only thing that keeps us in bondage is what we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and what we think other people think about us. And that's it. That's it. It's about aligning and shining. You align with your authentic self. You align with your worthiness when you can get lighter and when you can really feel the love, because love is the only thing that we're aligning with. And when you align with that, you feel your authentic expression come through more. And guess what happens? You shine. You shine. All that light comes to the surface. Comes to the surface and shines bright. You know what I'm talking about? Nice. So, really feeling good. It's a good day in the neighborhood. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm sending you so much love. You got this. You're on your path. You cannot mess this up. All is really well. Well-being abounds. You are whole and complete as you are. Don't let nobody tell you different. I will tell you that every week, so keep tuning in. And as well as, so I'm actually I'm in the process of working on a project. I'm going to be doing a mastermind / webinar. It's going to be a free mastermind webinar. And I'll be telling you guys more about that next week and things like that. It's in play right now, so I'm not sure when it'll be complete, but I'll tell you guys about that. And we're going to be talking about things like this, self-appreciation. It'll be a live webinar, so we can communicate and interact. So it's going to be very powerful. So that's right. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if this resonated with you. Leave a comment below, and you got this. You got this. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.